28th, and you are watching PPTV. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Today's science fact of the day has to do with an important American who inspires us all. Now let's head over to Valentino, who has a very special message for us.
Thanks, Abby. Around in 1982, NASA named Sally Ride to be the first woman to become mission specialist for NASA, meaning she did all the experiments in space. Ride faced many challenges on her journey to become an expert mission specialist, but she persevered. She never gave up. Like many other women around the world who never give up. Back in 1983, some debaters in public opinion felt that Ride was not qualified enough to be an astronaut. Now, over 30 years later, since her death in 2012, she has become one of the most well-known astronauts with schools named after her. She has awards from the President Barack Obama and even her own lunar landing place on the moon. Check out this cool video to learn more about the amazing Sally Ride.
Sally Ride, the first American woman in space, was born on May 26, 1951 in Los Angeles. She studied at Stanford University, earning a master's and PhD in physics, before beating out 1,000 applicants for a spot in NASA's astronaut program in 1978.
In the early years of NASA, the astronaut corps was chosen entirely from fighter pilots. When the shuttle program was initiated, NASA decided they wanted astronauts who had backgrounds in science, engineering, medicine, because they wanted to do experiments in space.
Sally Ride had a PhD in physics and so was in a perfect position to do a number of the science experiments that were being done on the space shuttle.
On June 18, 1983, flying aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger, Sally Ride became America's first woman in space.
Sally Ride was a mission specialist for NASA. That's a type of astronaut who goes on the missions but doesn't fly the shuttle. She was a scientist. She ran experiments and deployed satellites.
In those days, it was perceived as unusual even to have a woman pilot, never mind an astronaut. So for her to actually become someone who flies into orbit on the Challenger craft was groundbreaking.
She was still, from the press, getting questions about, well, how do you think your female organs will respond to the space environment, or do you get moody when things don't go right during training? So even in 1983, there were still, certain barriers, certain glass ceilings, and Sally Ride certainly shattered that glass ceiling.
Sally Ride flew 2 Challenger missions and was scheduled for a third, but this was canceled due to the tragic Challenger explosion on January 28, 1986.
Sally Ride left NASA in 1987 and was a science fellow at Stanford. Then she moved to University of California, San Diego, where she was a professor of physics.
Sally Ride did a tremendous amount to advance science education, in particular to attract young girls to science.
Sally Ride founded Sally Ride Science in 2001 to advance science education for young kids and authored 5 educational science books.
Her work on inspiring young people to go into science is especially important in America today. We need as many people as possible to get excited about helping America become competitive in a technical world.
Sally Ride will always be remembered as the first American woman in space, but I think her legacy is really the work that she did in education, in bringing the excitement of science, space exploration, to kids at the middle school level.
Sally Ride died in Los Angeles, California on July 23, 2012 from pancreatic cancer.
Sally Ride changed what it looked like to be an astronaut and made it possible for millions of girls in America to dream about going into space.
Thanks, Valentino. Now it's time for school announcements. Panthers. Our Panthers on a Roll party will be on Friday, May 12th. Students must be referral free from today until the day of the party if you wish to attend. If you do receive a referral, you will meet with a team leaders committee to see if you are able to go to the party. Today is the last day we will be collecting plastic bags for the Trex Recycling Challenge. Remember, you can still participate at Giant, Safeway, and Target. Come out to Rockville Town Square this Saturday to see Parkland's Latin Dance Club perform on the center stage. Also performing will be the cast of Beauty and the Beast. So come out on Saturday to support your Panthers. The show begins at 4:30 in the afternoon. And of course, today is our low power period of fun. Panthers, did you know that on this date in history, Afro-Cuban...
Good morning, and pardon the interruption, Parkland. Just want to let you know, we know it's getting a little warm in here. The air conditioning is down. Unfortunately, the air conditioning is down. But there
Afro-Cuban jazz musician Mario Bauza was born. He is famous because he is one of the first musicians to introduce live music to the United States by bringing Cuban music styles to the New York's jazz since the 1920s. Here's Valentino to tell us more.
While Cuban bands had popular jazz tunes in their repertory for years, Bauza's composition Tanga was the first piece to blend jazz with clave, which is traditional Latin rhythm. The composition Tanga is considered the first true Afro-Cuban jazz tune. Let's listen to musicians Mario Bauza's at work. Wish these students a very happy birthday.
Mamma mia, it's your birthday. Maybe we should sing you a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear wonderful person who's having a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Ciao.
That's all the time we have for today. Remember this practical advice from Walt Disney, who said the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Get started, Panthers.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
You're supposed to walk up.